Having a kid in Taiwan? I used to think it was manageable. Not cheap, but also not too crazy. Because everyone always says Taiwan is affordable. Healthcare is good. Food prices are reasonable. So raising a kid should be okay. But after actually having a child, it feels very different from what I imagined before. It's not one high cost that hits you at once. It's more like you keep paying for things, and it never really stops. The higher costs you pay once or twice at first, such as a crib, stroller, bed, bottle steamers, clothes, baby high chairs, and an infant car seat, can cost over 10,000 NTD or $300 for each item. Then there are the items you buy each month, like diapers, milk powder, wet wipes, and small baby stuff. At first, I didn't think much. It all felt pretty normal. Each time you buy something, it doesn't feel expensive. But at the end of the month, you suddenly realize how much you spent. And the strange part is, you don't feel it right away. It slowly builds up, and one day it just hits you. Then later, I saw some real numbers from Taiwan surveys. They said families with kids aged 0 to 6 spend about $1,700 per month. At first, I thought, no way, that sounds too high. But then I thought it through, and it actually makes sense. Because it's not just baby items, it's everything combined. Food, transport, childcare, and random spending you don't track. Then for kids aged 6 to 12, it goes even higher, around $1,900 per month on average. This part scares me because my boy is only 4 right now, and we spend about 30,000 NTD a month on him. That's $950. 22,000 NTD or $700 is for his preschool. The rest is in diapers, and he still drinks formula, but we are trying to get him off it. So this is not a rich family situation. This is just normal middle-class life in Taiwan. And that's when I realized something important. Raising a kid is no longer cheap Taiwan living. It's like entering a different financial level. You're playing a completely different game now. Then another reality hits you pretty quickly. If both parents are working, childcare becomes unavoidable. Because in Taiwan today, one income is really hard. Most families need 2 incomes just to stay comfortable. So the question becomes, who takes care of the kid? And this is where daycare or babysitting comes in. Daycare here is not cheap at all. You're looking at maybe $500 to $800 every month. My wife took 3 years off work to take care of our boy. When he turned 3, we put him into the Bushiban or small class at Hess. This is for children 2 to 3. There are 3 classes, Bushiban, then Zhongban, which means middle class age 3 to 4, then Daban, big class, ages 5 to 6. We pay around 22,000 NTD a month, or $700, and drop our son off from 7:30 to 5 o'clock Monday to Friday. This is considered preschool. He gets 2 meals there, and all the field trips are paid for. There is an option for an all-English only class, but we chose the mixed Mandarin and English class. How much is preschool in your country? How long do the kids stay at school? Since the population in Taiwan is in decline due to a low birth rate, the government tries to encourage us to have kids. Yes, the government gives some subsidies. Maybe $160, $190, or $220, depending on your situation. 5K NTD or $160 is for 1 child. 6K NTD or $190 is for 2 children. $220 is for 3 or more children. We received $160 a month. My wife used the money to buy things like formula, diapers, and wet wipes. $160 a month covers only this. We will receive the $160 a month for 5 years. You still have to pay a big portion yourself. $160 is really not helpful enough. I think $300 is the minimum at which it would be helpful. It is certainly not enough to encourage people to have babies. I think For most people here, that amount would have to be 1,500 NTD, or closer to $500, to get people seriously considering having a child, and maybe extend the subsidy to 10 years. I'm not being greedy, just being real about how expensive life is here in Taipei now, and I think our government is out of touch on it. So, imagine your household makes about 100,000 NT total. That is $3,200. Then suddenly, $650 are gone just for childcare. That's like losing 20% of your income immediately. And that's before rent, food, or anything else. You don't even need to calculate numbers. You just feel the pressure right away. And this is usually the moment people start thinking, can I really afford to continue like this long term? This is why a household making under 100,000 NTD or $3,200 will not have children in Taipei or the north. Maybe in the south like Miaoli, Chonghua, Tainan it is okay. My wife and I are lucky enough that our combined salary is now around 130,000 NTD or over $4,000. This is still not enough to save with. I think for a family of 3 in Taipei, the minimum level is 150,000 NTD, or closer to $4,800. Still, we can get by. We just buy cheaper diapers and shop on the Coupang app for discounts. Then your kid grows older and things change again. This part worries me. Now you enter the Taiwan education system. And this part is honestly very intense, because school itself is not the main cost. Public school is actually affordable. That part is not the problem. But nobody in Taiwan only does school. After school is where everything really starts. Bushiban becomes part of life. English class, math class, and extra programs. At first, you might think you don't need it. You tell yourself you don't want to pressure your kid. But then you look at other kids around you. They are already learning faster and doing more. You start comparing without even realizing it. And slowly your mindset begins to change. I saw one statistic that really stood out. About 58% of families are already paying for extra classes. That means more than half of families. This is no longer optional. It's the standard. And about 16% of families spend over $320 per month, just on these extra classes alone, not including regular school costs. This is just the extra part of education. So what happens is very predictable. You start with one class just to try it out. Then later, you add another one, then another, and suddenly it becomes normal. Before you know it, you're spending serious money again. Another $300, $600, or sometimes even $1,000 monthly. And this is per kid, not per family. So if you have 2 kids, just double everything. And the scary part is how it feels. It doesn't feel like luxury spending. It feels like something you have to do. Like if you don't, your kid might fall behind. That feeling is very strong in Taiwan. Even if you don't want to compete, you still feel it. And it's not only about money anymore. It starts affecting your time and energy too. Your daily life becomes a schedule system. School, pickup, class, homework, repeat. You spend your evenings managing everything, helping with homework and organizing the next day. Sometimes you realize something strange. Your time is no longer really your own. And in fact, surveys show similar results. More than 80% of parents feel they lose personal freedom. Around the same number worry their child will fall behind. So this pressure is not just personal, it's everywhere. Then there's another cost people don't think about early. Housing becomes a completely different decision. Before having a kid, you can live small. You can accept cheaper rent and less space. But after having a kid, your priorities change. You start thinking about space and environment. Maybe you want 2 bedrooms instead of 1. Maybe you want to live near a better school. And in Taipei, that decision is expensive. Your rent or mortgage increases immediately. So now all the layers start stacking together. Childcare, education, housing, and daily expenses. And when you zoom out and look at everything, the total number becomes very clear. A family of 4 in Taipei today spends around $3,200 per month before rent. Before rent. That's the key part. So when people ask why birth rates are so low, this is one of the main reasons. And then there's one more number I saw recently. This one really makes you think. Some parents estimate the cost of education alone is around 4.7 million NTD for one child. That is 150,000 US dollars. So imagine you're in your early 30s, looking at these numbers for the first time. The shock is enough to stop couples from planning on having children. It's not just about wanting kids anymore. It becomes a very serious decision. Because once you step into it, you can't step out halfway. Every stage requires more commitment, more money, more time, more energy. This is why I understand people who don't want children. Many just can't afford it, and the government doesn't have enough money to subsidize it. With less money, people are just trying to survive or to improve their lives. Maybe it's better this way, as Taiwan is such a crowded island. Either way, if the population falls, my child may have a better chance of buying a house here someday. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and tell me what you'd like to know about Taiwan.